In my series on the values and attitudes that make friendship and relationships blossom, today's video is number 3 and the topic is, please pay attention to this, exactly this, paying attention. Paying attention to something means setting aside your own preoccupations to be able to focus your consciousness in the direction of somebody else. It means not just hearing but listening to words and feelings both. Not just seeing, but observing deeply to try and understand and appreciate someone. In my practice as a counselor, I can tell you that very often I see that couples, family members just don't pay enough attention to each other. They're so busy, preoccupied with their own unmet expectations and needs that there's hardly any energy left to pay attention to what the other person is feeling or experiencing within themselves. And that gives rise to repeated hurt and disappointment. There is a very popular, lovely word called empathy, which is often used in the context of mental health, and it's all over social media. Let me tell you one thing, there can be no empathy without paying attention. Even as a counselor, unless I pay complete attention to someone, I cannot even expect to solve their problems or take them anywhere close to their goals. If you truly love, like, respect and care for your friends, family, children, parents, spouse, then the best way to make them feel that is by paying attention. Why is it so difficult for us to do this? Because we human beings have inherently lazy brains. We like comfort, we like status quo, and attention is basically a lot of work. Then we like to give ourselves excuses like, I'm so busy working hard that I don't have time to pay attention to the very same people that I'm making money for. Isn't that really self-defeating? And add to that the complexity of the current times that we're living in. I had recently written an article about attention deficit due to screen addiction and the impact it is having on relationships. I think it's a matter of bringing this into your awareness and observing yourself and seeing whether being self-absorbed, preoccupied, constantly overwhelmed is totally sapping your energy and not letting you pay attention. Some of the other approaches I can suggest towards deepening your attention is try as much as possible to live in the present moment. I know that the future is very seductive and the past is constantly gnawing at you, but keep coming back to the reality that the present moment is all that we have, and that's what matters. Reassess your priorities and realign them if you have to. If you haven't been able to make enough time for the people who really matter, then structure your week and your day to be able to put in conversations, deep, meaningful conversations with your loved ones. Put your phone away when you're having a conversation with somebody. Take some time, and this is one thing that I always do, is to observe life and nature. At least 4 times a day, I look out from my window and just observe the trees and how they flutter in the wind. And that's such a calming meditative exercise. Of course, there are so many other ways, wellness routines that make you feel more mindful and therefore increase your focus and attention span. But also remember that being attentive does not mean that anyone has the right to interrupt you and you are obliged to listen to them at any given time of the day. And that is where the idea of boundaries, which we spoke about in the first video, comes into place. You need to have the wisdom and judiciousness to know what really needs attention and what can wait. Sometimes our children come running to us and we know that through their body language that this is something really urgent that I must attend to now, and I must leave everything and be able to listen to my child. And I cannot possibly overemphasize the importance of paying attention to children because it makes them feel valued. It makes them feel that they are worth something, and it goes a long way in building their self-esteem. So I'd like you to actually rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10 on your ability to pay attention. And if the score is anything below 7, I would urge you to spend the next 40 days working on all these aspects of self-awareness, developing new habits, and then after 40 days, I hope that you can give yourself a score of 9. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for listening, and I'm going to see you at the Wellness Capsule very, very soon.